Welcome back to Doug Tanner, the Travel Concierge, episode 7, and this is a travel essentials episode because a travel agent, their goal is to empower you with knowledge to make your travel and its planning as smooth, stress-free and cost-effective as possible. In this episode, we're going to be looking at luggage. We're going to demystify some of the luggage restrictions and some of the things to be aware of. We're going to talk about the non-negotiable importance of travel insurance, why booking early can be your secret weapon for the best deal, and smart ways to manage your holiday budget, including spreading the cost. You don't want to miss this episode. So welcome back to episode 7 of Doug Tanner, the Travel Concierge. Greetings, sir.
Greetings, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Good.
I'm trying to remember. I think this is the first episode since I had another one of your holidays.
Right.
I might be wrong. I might have talked about it last time. I've forgotten, but we went off to Tenerife and it was wonderful. So thank you for sorting this out for us.
Glad to help.
It was genuinely lovely. Travel essentials, we've called this, and it's probably a title that could get reused as part 2 kind of thing because there's a lot of travel essentials, but we've picked up on a few key areas. I'm going to kick off with the first one. Luggage demystified. Now we're going to go Ryanair luggage demystified because they're the ones that seem to have the tightest at the moment. And so it seems to be a logical one to start on.
Yeah. So what I want people to be aware of are the luggage rules, and obviously I will try and help at the time of booking, but I want to make sure that people just are aware and not caught out. There's nothing worse than having all that expectation, driving to the airport, getting to the airport, we're all excited. Oh, and by the way, you've got to pay extra for this piece of luggage.
And I see it a lot.
Yeah, and it's just sad because basically, some airlines are saying that if a bag doesn't fit into a certain size, then you're going to have to check it in as checked luggage, which is then expensive because you're at the airport. Yep. It's more expensive to check it in then than it would have been if you checked it in advance. And also, what you're going to be careful of, and I'm quoting Michael Caine, not a lot of people know this. That was bad, wasn't it?
It wasn't good.
Is if you've got a bag that can expand, okay, you think it's currently the right size, but it could, by undoing a zip, expand to take more, they will class that at the larger size, or they could. Okay, so just be careful.
We were chatting about this before we started this discussion on camera, and I find that staggering and unacceptable, I would say.
It's disappointing, but their point is that you could take it away, you could buy stuff it in the bag, and it's bigger. It's bigger than when you got on, and therefore you can't put it under the seat, so it can't be safe, is what they'll say. So you just be aware. Just get your measurements.
That is, I backtrack a little bit there and go, do you know what? I hadn't thought about that because yes, you're not checking it in and it's gone. You've got hold of that through the airport. You buy stuff, you put more in.
You go through duty free.
And even all the clothes shops or whatever else, you suddenly start throwing more in there.
The watches,
Yeah, that won't take up much space. But yeah, no, I get that. That is a valid point. What we will touch on is that there's stories about staff being given commission on finding baggage that is
Incentivized.
Incentivized, yes.
Incentivized. So yeah, but it's where we are. It's where that particular airline is going with it. So all I'm trying to say to you guys is be aware and just don't get caught out.
And this isn't a witch hunt, is it? This is that we're going with the one that is the most extreme, because actually be aware of that across the board. Across the board, a safer bet.
All of the airlines have got their measurements. They're fairly standard, but there are slight variations. But it's a case of checking.
Yes, and that free allowance, and again, we've made this easy, is that we're using the Ryanair example, is that the dimensions are 40 by 30 by 20 centimetres.
Yeah.
Must fit under the seat in front of you. So typically a small backpack. This one is interesting. A handbag. Yeah. Now, I used to always think that my wife could have a handbag and a bag.
Yeah.
It's not the case, is it?
Not necessarily. No, it depends how big the handbag is. But even so, it's got to fit under the seat in front of you.
Yeah.
So, it's just make yourselves aware. Don't get too loaded down with it, but just make yourselves aware of the right size.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, obviously you can buy extra bags, and it's probably better to do that at the time of booking. So,
yes,
because as I said, once you get to the airport and you book an extra bag in, they it's an extra charge. It's quite a bit extra because they can pre-plan. If you booked it in when you book the holiday, you've got your luggage booked in, then what you're paying for, and it's not going to get surprised again.
Yeah.
So, but one thing that's interesting is you can possibly pool. If you've got a family, you can pool the luggage. So, 20 kilograms each. You've got somebody with a 10 kilogram bag. You could have a bag that's bigger than 20 on its own, but overall. But again, you've got to check with the airline whether that's allowed.
That's hold luggage, isn't it?
Hold luggage,
20 kilograms.
That's checked luggage.
Yeah, rather than cabin.
Just cabin baggage. Yeah.
So,
but even so, I think a single bag can't weigh any more than 30 kilograms. But basically, ideally, that could be a minefield. So I would say if you've got 20 kilograms each, just stick to that. I mean, that covers most situations. Even 14 days, I think 20 kilograms is a reasonable allocation of luggage. So,
yeah. Although I must be honest, we still managed to get right up there with mine and my wife's, not so much my daughter's, but it was like going, how have we managed this?
I know.
Doing 10 nights.
10 nights.
It's sunny. I don't need much.
And how much will you have used when you get back?
There was plenty that we hadn't. It was really bad, but you're just in case, isn't it? It is just in case. I mean, I do it when, as you know, one of my professions is a professional motorsport commentator. Yeah. And when I go over and do European work, world streams, that we try not to check anything into the hold because we need to be pretty quick.
Right. Okay.
And it's like quite amazing trying to get things into a whole a cabin bag that includes the right clothes, your wash stuff, because of course you've got the fluids element and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just making sure that you're aware. That's how you can then.
Because you can buy extra cabin luggage, so you've got the one under the seat, but you can buy yes, you can buy an extra cabin bag. But then that fits in the overhead locker, and you buy that because they've only got a limited number. So you can necessarily actually buy, but you do have to pay extra. But it is a checked cabin bag, as it were, so that and it's slightly bigger, so that it can fit in the overhead hold, in the overhead luggage. So you can get stuff in there.
Do you know what we noticed? Tenerife, very little was in the bins above us.
Right. Well, there you go.
In the whole plane.
Yeah.
We kind of went, wow, haven't things changed? There was virtually nothing up there. I mean, plenty, I'm sure, under the seats, but up there, I always remember when it used to be struggling to get space.
And then at the end, when the plane lands, everyone stands up and drops cases on your head. And all sorts.
There is that, exactly.
I'm going to get out. Well, you're still standing in a queue for 10 minutes.
I saw an interesting point that is relevant to this that I found quite funny, is that it's all very well they're going, managing all this luggage and that's got to go here, that's got to go there. They have no idea what weight we are.
No.
And I'm sadly not a Slim Jim. Right. And so it's like, hang on a minute, I'm taking up that.
Well, my late wife, for instance, take this back completely. It's completely off topic. She flew to one of the Channel Islands, one of the small ones, and they were weighed when they got on the plane. But there was only 3 in the plane.
Oh, right.
And it was making sure where she was.
Well, this was, the joke was it was a naughty joke, but it was like going, hang on a minute, that person that was large, why aren't they paying extra cabin fees?
Yeah.
And of course it's stupid, but what I'm trying to do is make a slight mockery of the way that they're doing this baggage management. It's like going, no, it really isn't causing them a problem.
You get people who are, all various
well, I mean, even types. Just take the three of us is that, my wife's considerably less weight on that plane than I am, sadly, because I'm enjoying my food and whatever. But they don't take that into consideration. I guess they're kind of going across the board. Anyway, it was by the by that makes this kind of going, we don't have to agree with it.
No.
But it is what it is.
But it is what it is, and it's just a shame to get to the airport and be surprised and think, what? That just spoils your day.
They'll say they don't charge a premium, is that you actually get a discount by booking it in advance. It's like, well, whichever way you want to take it, the point being is book it in advance.
Book your luggage, work your luggage out, book it in advance.
And that, so we've been touching on checked baggage, typically 10 to 20 kilograms. Do you have to check the dimensions on those?
Sometimes,
really?
Sometimes, but not often. Not. It's just a weight, basically. Yeah. But you can imagine it could be quite a large.
I suppose you do have because you've got that particular position that's for the, what do they call it? Extra
oversized.
Thank you. But that's typically if you've got your golf bag, or your skis, or things like that. But I suppose they could go, hang on a minute, that's a bit.
Again, it's worth checking with the airline because some do, some don't. Some are not that bothered.
The suitcase companies are pretty sensible on this, though, aren't they? They're very clever on it.
Yeah.
You mentioned pooling as well. You've got a point here in the notes: priority and 2 cabin bags option.
Yeah, so that's the 2 cabin bags I was mentioning. You can have the one underneath and the one in the overhead. So
that gives that's a priority.
Well,
priority boarding. So that's a bundle.
Again, one of the airlines has a bundle where you buy the extra cabin bag to go in, and that actually gets you speedy boarding as well. So there's just a case of I can happy to guide people through it, and we can actually work out what's the best option for where they're going and what they're doing, sort of thing. Okay, so, cool. But it's something just to think about. It's not just grab a bag and get on. It's needs a little bit more thought to it.
Yeah, cool. Love it. Thank you for that one. Next one, travel insurance.
It's not boring.
But it's. I mean, I know insurance is always one of those ones that we hope we don't have to use it, but don't not have it. I had an interesting one. I've actually got travel insurance through my bank, and I know that's a horrible phrase that because you go be careful on those, and I am aware of what it is, but including to the point we did a cruise, wasn't going to cover that.
No.
And we had to take out a special cruise insurance.
Yes.
I think it's the multiple countries. Is that the key?
There's various ones. There's multiple countries without cruise, multiple countries with cruise, multiple countries, including USA.
Because I remember Caribbean. The one that because it could include that you have to be medevaced helicopter off the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And they're going, well, hang on, that's something that someone in a hotel wouldn't need.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I get that.
Yeah. So, again, it's that something you don't need it. But I would make the point of have some sort of insurance in place at the time of booking.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going to happen any time down the road, and it's just life happens. And therefore, don't wait until you go on holiday to get it. Have it in place when you book. Because, you might have to cancel for, again, whatever reason that we could come up with. There's hundreds. And if you have to cancel, it's just a ball ache.
Yes, because, I mean, I was there thinking, surely I wouldn't want it to start until I go. But no, it could be cancelled or need to be cancelled from the point when I book it. So actually, you would take it out. Yeah. Do you take it out for that holiday, or is it, okay, if I took it out today, it's 12 months from today?
It's a 12 months. Well, there are single trip policies,
so
that's one option, but often it's not that much more expensive, in some cases less, to have an annual 365-day policy to cover all the trips, and and again you've got to tailor it a little bit, again, a bit to what you want. So if you're going on an adventure cruise or adventure holiday, with activities and things like that, you need to specify what those activities are, because there's literally different levels of insurance that cover ski package. That'll be a different one again.
Yeah.
Rock climbing, or mountain biking, all that sort of stuff needs to be.
And I hear stories, and I've always been unsure on this one, and so I've always steered clear of it. Whenever you go on whatever holiday, even Tenerife that we just went on, we could have hired quad bikes.
Yeah.
And I've heard horror stories that it doesn't include it in your travel insurance.
No, if you go and do it, that's an adventure, and therefore you should have pre-planned that you might do it and book it into your insurance. Because if you then have an accident on a quad bike, it could be deemed that you weren't covered. So it's ideally, get your holiday planned out in advance. Look at the options before you go, which is, again, where I'd help with what excursions you're going to do. You're going to sit on the hotel beach all day?
Or do you want to go and do fly and flop?
Yeah, fly and flop, yeah, which is lovely. A lot of people just love that and totally get it. But actually, a lot of people want something to do. And again, if you're going to do snorkeling, all that sort of thing, you just need to get that covered on your insurance, which is where I'll come back to what you said about the bank insurance. What does that cover? That'll cover you. I don't know what it covers, but I mean, I'd just be careful that you've got enough cover.
Really? Because
it's just a pain. Well, it's more than a pain in the neck. It's a pain wherever you're hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, it's a pain. If you have an accident, heart, health condition, whatever, that limits your holiday and you haven't got the right cover, just imagine what it's like,
Absolutely.
So, and it shouldn't, if you pre-plan, again, it's that pre-planning stage. If you pre-plan, get it all booked in. Yes, I might be doing it. I could do a quad bike experience, that sort of thing. And then you got the cover for it.
And I don't know if you even know the answer to this, and I'm just sort of thinking around it. I haven't taken that element out, and I get on holiday and there's this wonderful deal and it looks great fun to go quad biking. Should I steer clear of it because I haven't added it, or could I potentially add it there?
A question I don't know, and again, I need to go away and find it.
And I did think that it was probably throwing you under the bus on that one, but therefore, you're probably, if there's even a tiny chance, is just get it included in those kind of things anyway.
Yeah, but again, it adds to the cost, and you just think, I won't do it, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
I, to be honest, over in Tenerife, I had a curry that probably shouldn't have been covered on the insurance. I've got to be honest, jeepers creepers, it was hot. I
don't know if they do food insurance.
No, but they blooming well should. This one was proper spicy, really.
Probably need battery. I think
It was wonderful, but yeah, it was. And we have had a show since I've been back, because I remember saying that I loved how instead of doing an all-inclusive fly and flop that we historically have done, we did a bed and breakfast and went and did lots, and was exhausted at the end of it as well, but in a wonderful, fulfilled way. So it was. I do remember that we did do that. Okay, so the insurance, we know full well that we're there going, well, what if I kind of wrongly pigeonhole it in if I need medical assistance, and it's like, no, it could be lost baggage or lost things. Yeah. It could be lost days or time. Yeah. It could be cancellation of some of your excursions and things. Yeah. It will cover that as well. Yeah. I mean, you'd like to think you'd get a refund, but not everybody's quite so honourable, but this makes sure. But my interesting point is that I keep forgetting is that, yes, take it out from the point when you book it, because anything can happen between now and when you go.
That's right. Yeah. And you're covered then for...
Including our end, that suddenly someone's unwell or worse or whatever. And it's like
family issues, that sort of thing. Family, that sort of thing. And the other thing to do, obviously, with insurance is when you take it out, declare any medical conditions so that you've got the right cover. Because the last thing you want to do is go, but you didn't tell us about that. And it's like any insurance. If you don't declare, it could be invalid, and that's just completely pointless.
I always say with all insurance is that they will be looking for a way not to have to pay out. You know, I'm sure that's a bit more ruthless than the truth, maybe. But it's like, just think of it that way, and then it makes sure, that you are always declaring all of the things, so you're not giving them that excuse to not.
Yeah, I mean, I think most companies would want to help you, but if you don't declare something, they'll say, well, hang on a minute, if we'd have known about that, we'd have covered it, sort of thing. So
exactly.
But yeah, it's it's just a vital part of that travel journey. The whole thing is having it in place.
I touched on my eyes being opened of take it out from the minute you book it, because that is important. So let's go with the booking early principle here. It's one of your biggest pieces of advice with holidays is book it early. Yeah. Why?
The earlier you book, the more chance there is, and it's not always guaranteed, the more chance there is that you'll get, say on a cruise, you'll get the cabin you want. You can actually get the cabin that want, not the cabin that's left. I just recently looked at a cruise for a couple going out quite soon, and there's 5 cabins left on the deck that they want to, out of the hundreds and hundreds of them. So they've only got a small selection. So book it early, get what you want. Also flights, as flights fill up, it's called dynamic pricing. So as the plane fills up, the prices will increase.
Yeah, of course.
So the nearer the date you get to, the more you're going to pay for the same thing. Getting it all packaged up ready is, you've got it in place. You've got where you want, at the dates you want as well, because sometimes, again, hotels or cruises fill up. Those particular ones might not be available.
And you mentioned flights. There's the times that you want as well,
the times
you want your ultimate flight time.
Yeah, if you're going out, even for, like I've done some 3-day breaks, you want to go early in the morning, come back late at night. Well, if you leave it to the last minute, they may not be available.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to possibly pay a premium for the fact you're booking so late, late in the day. 3 and 4 day ones, are probably not as badly hit as the longer holidays, but it's just a case of getting it booked, and then you've got something to look forward to as well. It's just having that in the bank. I'm going to X in August.
We get obsessed with that. We'll always be looking at the website and looking at photos, going onto YouTube and finding videos from people that went to these places, and it just, you've got longer to get obsessed into that as a family. The 3 of us will do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So booking early has many advantages. The other one, of course, is the earlier you book, you can put it onto our direct debit scheme to pay for it, where you pay the deposit, whatever that is, and you literally spread it over the time. Now, if you don't take the direct debit, in many cases, we have to have the final balance 16 weeks before travel. Okay. So that's 4 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 months before travel. If you put it on direct debit, the balance is only due as late as 6 weeks before you travel.
Wow.
Okay.
Because you're guaranteed it's set up there to be taken.
Yeah, set up there to be done. And the direct debit is there's no charges whatsoever. There's no interest to pay. It's purely the actual value of the holiday. So you're not paying any more. And you've just got that steady payment of a monthly payment going out on direct debit. You don't have to worry about it. And I say it might not actually, the final balance might not be due until 6 weeks prior to travel. So it just...
and it's quite a switch in discipline I'm finding on this, because I know you and I have had this discussion and we're like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start doing that. Whereas invariably is, we've just been on holiday now. We'll think about it and then we won't do anything until, if we're lucky, January. We'll get through Christmas and New Year and feel a bit harumphed and go, let's make ourselves happy by having something to look forward to. We'll just about get away with a deposit with then a big balance to pay.
Absolutely.
Like you say, 3 or 4 months beforehand.
Yeah.
Whereas if we can get disciplined, we've got longer to be excited. We've got more choice. I mean, everything that you're saying about the choice of rooms, the choice of locations, the choice of view from your balcony or whatever it might be, the flights, the seats on those flights, etc. Yeah. I was like, I'm just so used to sort of getting what was left.
I'll take an example. A customer, she's a lovely lady. Her and her husband go on a holiday regularly, book through me, and we book next year. And the type of room they want, there were only 3 left for next July.
Wow, really?
In that hotel, the type of literally they wanted a specific type of thing with a whirlpool on the terrace,
as you do.
And there were literally only 3 left even now. So we managed to book one of those. So it is, imagine the disappointment of, I could have done with that. I wish I'd booked it.
Yeah.
But, but if you can get it in the bag now, it just, as I say, it just spreads the load for monthly outgoings, and it keeps the excitement up of the fact you've got something to.
And I think your direct debit thing is so much better, because everything is promoting, no deposit now. And you go, oh, great, so I'm only paying 25 quid now, or whatever it might be. And then, but you're still left with the full bill later, whereas this suddenly goes, great. We always say, we'll be disciplined. We'll put this amount into a savings account. No, we don't.
No.
Or if we do, we then start taking it because a car bill comes up or whatever it might be. Whereas you go, that is going out. That direct debit is going out.
Yeah.
You then don't think about it. Is there a real change here? Because it's not that long ago that we were very much of the mentality of the last minute travelagent.com. It was, you know, I mean, we can go back a long way back when you used, do you remember teletext holidays and stuff like that?
Barely.
I'll behave. But, you know, teletext holidays was very much about, you know, you suddenly go, right, let's go away. It used to be that we're going, right, we know when we're going to go, but we'll book what we're going to do really late. And you'd get a big discount. And understandably, the travel companies have gone, this is not a sustainable business model.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what the heck's going to come in until a little too late.
No, that's right.
So they have now switched it the other way. So there's benefits to them, but they've then incentivized us to do it that way. And I'm now of the mold that goes, do you know what? I would love to be really excited about something next year.
Can I just put a twist on that, where people say, no, I'd rather pay on my credit card because I've got protection. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I would turn around and say that's going to cost me more because of the interest.
Yeah.
But I would also go, I get that point about the cover. I think I need to do it because of the protection.
Not just travel, being part of the Hayes Group. Yeah. Okay. I think it's been quoted me something like in the 10 to 15 years that Not Just Travel have been trading, they've only ever had one chargeback claim on a credit card that wasn't actually upheld. Sorry, they only had one chargeback claim, full stop, and that wasn't upheld. So there's protection anyway. There's lots of protection with ABTA and Atoll, and with a company like us who I feel are very ethical, and we've got a brilliant, we've got 5-star Trustpilot reviews, and you know, that's why I feel I'm comfortable to be part of it, is because we basically don't get any issues with what we do. And we sort people out. You know, we will go out of our way to sort people out. So the argument of having this protection from credit card payment, yes, you'll pay interest on your credit card payments, obviously, as you do, which can be massive. But also this protection thing, I wouldn't want people to get too worried about it. The direct debit scheme is good. Hayes, you know, we're part of the Hayes Group. Not Just Travel is a very ethical company, and we don't mess people about. We wouldn't be where we are. One of the biggest up and coming, you know, franchises in the country, best franchise and all this sort of stuff. But we think we're very good at what we do, and we would like to be there for people. You know, I don't want people to be out of pocket. So, you know, I'm not going to mess people about by doing that. So it's just on a bit of a serious note, there is that element, but I wouldn't get too tied up with using a credit card.
You're not less protected. That's the whole point, isn't it? Another quick point I remember before I forget again, where we're talking about booking early, is there's another interesting point that was made in the list, was if you're in early, you're booking your work leave early, so you've probably got more choice.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I've had a couple of people say, I couldn't get the time off in the end because I couldn't get the time off work. So yeah, absolutely. If you want to, you know, get in early before your workmates do, might be a bit. Well, are we being selfish? No, we're being self-aware. You know, just to get in and get that.
I don't think that's selfish at all. You're getting that pick of it, and you might not know exactly when that wants to be. So you book the holiday first, nice and early. Now get in and book the leave because you know that it's going to be fine.
Yeah, and you could probably find from your employer when you're eligible for leave and all that sort of stuff. Quite early on. So yeah, it's. Get it in, but it's good.
I do love it. So we actually ended up addressing the 2 points together there: the spreading the cost, as well as the booking early. It's nice that we get the direct debit, paying by instalments, all of those kind of things. That, you know, to recap this episode with travel essentials, and this is why I say, to be honest, there's travel essentials we haven't even touched on that we're not going to in this episode. But the point being is, be prepared in terms of your luggage, your allowances, sizes, weights,
that sort of thing.
But some interesting packages that you might be able to top up on, if appropriate. Make sure you get that to your airline as well. Don't generalize that. There are nuances for each of the individual airlines. So be aware of those. And similar. Again, you help with that and say, guys, this is the situation. You make sure that we're furnished with all of the information. Don't skip on travel insurance. It is not worth the risk.
No.
I've got to be honest and say it's not terrifically expensive, I've found, either.
No,
in all
not for an
honesty.
annual policy that covers everything,
Yeah.
you know, and you've got all those options in there again, but just put in the fact that you might be doing snowboarding or something, you know, or,
Yes.
or whatever. And just,
I didn't do that in Tenerife.
No, funny. Oh, right.
No.
Not this time.
But where we're talking about booking early is get that insurance in early as well.
Yeah.
Because anything could happen from the point you booked it, and just get yourself covered. Book the holiday nice and early so that you've got more choice, you've got better pricing options, almost definitely.
And I'm just going to reiterate, 60% of what we sell, you couldn't find online anyway.
Yes.
So, and again, with the booking early, I've got more options to find you something special as well, you know. So, just done a lovely booking for a family going away, and they're off to Thailand. We're getting it in booking early. Although, interestingly, we're booking it quite early, but even the place, they wanted to go to Elephant Hills in Thailand, that's fully booked.
Wow.
So we've actually had to find them another elephant experience in Thailand. So again, they weren't quite early enough, you know. So there is massively an element of get in there, get it in early. You've got these holidays. What do people have? 1 or 2 a year, and it's got to be special, you know. So you want to make it. You want to get in early and get what you want.
Agreed. I was desperately trying to come up with some kind of elephant joke, but I've run out of time.
Not the elephant in the room.
And not all of them were safe anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. And take advantage when you're booking early on the flexible payment options that are available to you.
Yeah.
And suddenly it doesn't become that big
lump sum
that much.
That looks a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, it is a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But if you can spread it, it just takes the pressure out. I remember booking a couple of years ago. My partner and I went to Iceland. I think we booked it like 18 months in advance. We ended up paying something like 50 quid a month each.
Yeah.
And
you can then almost forget that's going out, can't you?
Yeah. So no.
Right. So that's brilliant on the travel essentials. The final bit that we always do for this is a sample package.
Sample package.
This one excites me a lot. If I just change the picture on there. Route 66. I mean, I got to be honest and say this is one that now is for kids and adults because Cars movie, the animated movie, of course, that's very much on Route 66. As adults, we got it. Whether it's the places that you get to go to along the way, whether it's the road and the drive itself.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing, and it's something that always to me felt too far out of reach, but you guys have got a package.
Yes, we have. Yes. So we're talking 100 years, apparently, of Route 66 in 2026. So self-drive. You've got 14...
It has to be a self-drive.
Yeah, well, that's right. Brilliant. So 14 nights, you go to Chicago. Well, I won't read them all out, but you've got 14 places to go to, and including Amarillo. Who hasn't been to? Who wants to go to? How far is it to Amarillo?
And yet it doesn't cost a song.
Hey. Albuquerque and all that. Grand Canyon National Park. So basically, you get a fully inclusive car hire with Alamo, including a thing called skip the counter check-in. 2 adult sharing, and you've got direct flights as well from Heathrow with United Airlines and things like that. So this one, it's priced as it is, as it'll show on the screen, valid for departure in March. But obviously that, we can do that at any time. So, we can get it, but this is just a sample.
Yeah.
And, if it's something that triggers your imagination, then, get in touch.
And I have to emphasize the key thing to this one is that not just that it's just a seriously cool sounding package here, but this is pieced together 14 nights in different hotels, different locations.
Yeah.
And it's from my perspective as the customer, it's like going, it's all done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all pre-booked, and you're done. You're not going to have to go online and think, where will I be at that point, and how will I get there? They got it all sorted out, and it's a brilliant deal. And it'll other dates. These dates may fill up, but obviously the other dates will be available. There'll be whole queue of cars doing it on the 3rd of March. So
of course.
3rd of March.
I mean, I do love it that you're saying the Grand Canyon, incredible, Vegas. LA.
Yeah.
Some incredible things.
Yeah.
Even for me, is that I'd be like going, okay, can I get it to coincide with an ice hockey match over there in one of those places?
Well, probably. Yeah,
exactly.
Get the dates to match things. But
Chicago, St. Louis, Springfield, Oklahoma, Windy City, Amarillo, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Holbrook. I mean, you just listen to those names and it'll just conjure up.
You've heard them all. Yeah,
this
that's
or
right.
that or the other.
Yeah.
I do love that. When you sent that through, I was like, what am I doing next year? Will the daughter love it? But probably not. It's one for me and the wife to go and do, I think, more than anything.
Oh yeah, well, it's they do children on it as well. They take.
I know she'll just go stir crazy in a car, I think.
Yeah.
Although possibly not, because of the Cars movie and things like that, and there's plenty to see. Absolutely amazing. So get in touch. If I go back to the website now. DougTanner.notjusttravel.com.
Absolutely.
Or email to
Doug.Tanner.
Doug.Tanner at notjusttravel.com.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll appear on the screen, either various points. So drop you a line and just
inquire.
Ask the questions.
Just inquire. Yeah, it's just a question.
I have to give an example of where our mindset is now that we've started working with you, is that my wife suddenly went, our daughter's got these 2 teacher training days. So it means that she's not in school, but it's not school holidays time. And we've gone, why don't we go over to our initial thought was Euro Disney or whatever they call it now. And we just went, let's just throw that at Doug. And he can find out what he can get for us for travel, hotels, and the park, and then just come back. And I know I can do it online, but I started it and went, there's too many options.
Yeah.
And I've not been there, so I don't quite know the lie of the land.
No, and there's the different hotels. They've got hotels with pools, hotels without pools. Depending on time of year, you might not want a pool, so you don't want to pay for the pool if you're going to go without a pool. That sort of thing. So we do the whole package. Boom, get Eurostar from St Pancras.
Which is so cool. I do love doing that.
Yeah.
I've done that once. We went to Amsterdam, and it's so cool catching Eurostar from there.
So all possible. But I'm here for inspiration, really. It's just a case of let's get you inspired, let's get you excited about a holiday. Give us a chat, give us a call, and we can just chat through your options.
Love it. Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who's watched. Get in touch, ask any questions, inquire. Just start investigating the possibilities and get it done early. Get yourself insured and get yourself on a direct debit, and it'll be well worth it. Thank you for joining us for Doug Tanner, the Travel Concierge. That was episode 7. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.